This is the Clan of the Hill Game 3 between nGen and Pro. We have nGenMaster in the bottom left, and in the top right we have pRoHuntresS. The map is Match Point. Now, Railgun, have you played this map much? Because I have played just a few games on it and know the basic layout. What do you think of this map?
Actually, I haven't played the StarCraft 2 version of this at all. I've seen a lot of Brood War matches on this though, and I kind of like this map. It's really easy to get your first expansion, but beyond that, all the other bases are really hard to defend.
Yeah, I agree. I actually like this map a lot because of the distance. I mean, you look now, obviously this drone is scouting across through the map. There are a lot of expansions on this map, but they're very separated, and it's easy to sort of get in a choke point between someone's expansions and attack in two directions. I also want to point out at the natural expansion, there are these little small 20 mineral field things here. What this does is allows you to wall off, and then when you want to break out of your base, you don't have to kill a building, you just mine 20 minerals from one of those patches. I really like that, and that kind of encourages two-base play, which is something in a ZVZ you don't see too much. Usually it's a lot of one-base play to start with. So what do you know about ZVZ, and do you know anything about these players and how they play this matchup?
About the players, I know both players are really good. We saw nGenMaster taking out Pro Kobo just now, and Huntress I've seen him play before, and his play is really solid. And yeah, I think I definitely agree with you. We will be seeing at least two-base play here. And yeah, about ZVZ, I guess I know as much as any other person, which is basically Zerglings and Painlings, which would then transition into Roach Muta.
Yep, definitely. I mean, Baneling and Zergling use early game is really dependent on the map. When you have a large choke point, it's pretty hard to go roaches straight up. I mean, you have to really wall off with roaches to stop Banelings from getting in your mineral line. So generally on this map, you are forced to go Zergling Baneling, or Speedling Baneling, sorry, and transitioning into a Roach Infesta Hydra, or maybe even just Muta Roach. There are so many unit combinations you can do, but if you get to 3 bases, you really want to start getting that Roach Hydra Infesta out. Don't have to go Hydras if your opponent doesn't go Mutas, but what that does is it allows the Infestors to fungal growth the Mutalisks if they happen, because obviously Mutalisks is something you got to worry about, and your Hydralisks then can finish them off nice and easy. That's the thing you got to worry about, but obviously it takes a while to get Infestors, and that's the trick on this map, because going for Hydralisk Roach Infestor is much more of a stable build, but you can die while getting there. So we are actually seeing just one base play from both players here. We do see nGenMaster building a evolution chamber here outside the gas. Now what this does is it prevents the mining on this gas from happening very quickly. So you have to go around the long way. It sort of obscures the path. But also when this dies, you get broodlings, and you can use them to kill 2 drones. So a small little advantage there if you can make use of that. We also see a roach warren going down here. Now, what time would you expect these players to expand, or would you just expect them maybe to stay on one base? Obviously, pRoHuntresS already getting his lair up, and so is Master actually. So, what are your thoughts about these builds so far?
They look both builds look like standard one base builds. I'm not too sure about the decision about making that decision. It's kind of I would expect both of them to expand earlier, like 14 hatch or 15 hatch or those kind of builds. So we actually see pRoHuntresS expanding right now, and I'm not too sure about this. He doesn't have many units out. It might be hard to defend, but the long rush distances will be in his favor.
Yeah, we also see the evolution chamber just about to die, but those broodlings are not controlled at all, and they aren't killing drones. That is a small error there. Master could have used those to kill a few drones and get slightly ahead. I do think we are seeing Mutalisk builds though. I mean, double gas on one base with a quick lair. I wouldn't be surprised to see a spy going up, but then again, both players have tricked me and have started getting roaches and, you know, roach speed and that kind of stuff. So I think it's very interesting play. I think both players haven't really played this map much and don't quite understand what needs to happen on it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it definitely looks like the case. pRoHuntresS mentioning just now in the chat that he hasn't seen this map before. So yeah, maybe we'll see some funny play from both players.
Yeah, and as you can see, obviously the rush distance, well not the rush distance, but the distance between bases is quite very large, and you can actually see nGenMaster sort of taking the initiative here. He's obviously going for a roach build. As you see him move out now, he's still on one base against two base, but he's got overlords spread out, dropping creep, but he doesn't have nearly enough overlords to cover the gap between bases. But obviously this is a lot of roaches coming in now, and they do have roach speed. Do you think, how is pRoHuntresS going to counter this? Is he going to be able to get enough units up in time, do you think?
I have no idea how he's going to count this. It's right now it's 15 roaches for Master to 10 roaches for Huntress. I think he might get enough to not get killed, but he might lose that hatchery.
Yep, definitely. He is trying to engage now.
And Master's microing his roaches a bit here.
Yeah.
Managed to save a few. Just going to engage straight up. He knows he has to...
He is actually pushing in now, actually. He's got, what numbers has he got left? He has 5 left against 6, so he is actually running out of roaches here. He hasn't killed the hatchery either. Actually, never mind, he does have more roaches being rallied in here. So he's probably going to take out this expansion, and I think maybe pRoHuntresS needs to sack the expansion. Just take this advantage and just do roach on one base here as the expansion does die and Master does pull back. I mean, what do you do from here after losing your expansion? Do you just try and transition to a normal game? Do you try and push forward perhaps? And from Master's point of view as well, do you try and expand yourself now that you have this advantage, or what do you do to counter this?
Well, first off, I think we have a bit of lag going on. Sorry for that about just now, but I think best option for Huntress is to see what Masters is doing. If Masters expand, he will have to get expansion up, or he'll fall behind. And in this case, Masters is not getting expansion up, so Huntress should just stick on one base too. If he has lost too many units to try to get an expansion up right now.
Yeah, we actually are seeing a push here by Master coming into the base. He does have 8 roaches against 5 and a queen, but there are some more roaches getting popped out now. That will tip the scales back in pRoHuntresS' favor. This is just back and forward roach play. Like, as Master reinforces, he pushes forward, and as pRoHuntresS reinforces, he pushes back. But we're really fighting in pRoHuntresS' base here, which is really bad. He also lost his queen, which is going to hinder a lot of his macro ability, especially only being on one base. I think that will set him quite far behind if a push happens in the next, I'd say, 20 or so seconds, because that would be an injective larva. That's 4 roaches that he is missing out on. And honestly, I mean, we have an expansion as well from Master. I think that's great timing. Do you agree with that?
Yep, definitely. He has an advantage now. He has more units and he can defend the expansion really easily. He's containing Huntress in his base, and if there's any danger, he can just pull back. But Master's engaging right now again. I'm not too sure if this is a good idea. Huntress has the +1 upgrade in his favor, so he will be able to push us back. Reinforcements coming in very slowly from Masters, and he loses quite a few roaches there. I'm not too sure if engaging was the right idea.
Yeah, true. Honestly, if you are taking an expansion, I prefer just controlling that choke point between the bases, because if he could hold at sort of the expansion side of the choke point in pRoHuntresS' base there, he could just contain him in that choke, and it's really hard to engage if your units aren't being able to arc around your opponents, even if you have superior numbers. And when he was getting overwhelmed, just pull back. Obviously, he does have his natural, and pRoHuntresS does have an overlord over the top, so he does know what's going on here. So it looks like pRoHuntresS is moving forward now, possibly to push, but also possibly to expand. Both are good choices, but if he doesn't do one of those two, he is going to fall behind very quickly, being a base down here.
Yep, I think he should expand, and at the same time, I'm trying to put on some pressure. Because if he just pushes out and doesn't manage to do any damage at all, then he will fall behind.
Yeah, definitely. We're also seeing a +1 finish for Master right now, but that's only going to even up the scales for a little bit amount of time, because +2 is almost like 2/3 done for pRoHuntresS. So his upgrades are really strong in this game. It's just that he's starting to fall behind, and even if you've got like 3/3 roaches against 2/2 roaches, if you're outnumbered by a lot, it's not going to make that much of a difference. It only makes a difference on even numbers, and if he doesn't take a base right now or do significant damage, he's just going to get out macroed significantly here.
Yeah, Huntress does have 400 minerals in saved up, so he could expand while pushing, which is a really good decision. I hope he does that, or he'll just fall behind if Huntress manages to hold off this push. But I think both of them are now even in roach count, and as soon as +2 kicks in, Huntress will be able to take out Masters, the force of Masters.
Yep, so we will see an engagement here. This could be quite interesting. This could decide the game. If Master does hold this, he will be in such a commanding position, and I think he will. He has a lot more roaches here from the quick double clicks that I'm doing here. He still has more. +2 needs to kick in at sort of the lower levels of roaches once they're down to sort of 5 each. But honestly, pRoHuntresS is pushed back here. He is still a base down. He's only now just getting his hatchery up, and he's just retreating, but he's getting chased down by Master here. If Master keeps his macro up on 2 bases, he can do a quick push now and win the game before that second base gets up from pRoHuntresS. In fact, pRoHuntresS might even GG right now, to be honest. He is that far behind.
Yeah, definitely. The long rush distances, the long distance between the bases really killed that for Huntress. The roaches, his reinforcement just took so long to get to the front, and by that time he already lost most of his force. So yeah, that didn't work too well. It looks really bad right now, but maybe if Master doesn't push out right now, he could come back. There's a slight chance he can still win this.
True, true. But obviously Master is on 2 bases. He knows he has the advantage, and he is gathering up in the middle of the map, looking like he is going to push forward here, and he is going to catch pRoHuntresS' army here on this ramp. Very actually small micro there if you saw it. Just pulled that one at the front back so it didn't get killed. Small subtle things like that. He's pushing up the ramp now. This isn't a good spot for Master to engage. He cannot get a full concave. Very good spot for Huntress to defend. And when he attacked down to Master, he came from a very good angle, but looks like he just has that superior numbers. Reinforcements coming in from both players here. In fact, this could be quite interesting. He has got 8 left against 7. This is going to be game here if he does lose his push, because he isn't going to be able to get up on 2 base. Reinforcements still streaming in. This is just crazy, honestly. 5v5, 7 now for Master versus 5 from pRoHuntresS. This is going to be really nuts. Obviously, the macro of Master is stronger right now, so if he can keep this pressure up, he will pull ahead, because it will be hard to build drones on that base, because drones obviously cost lava that you would want to spend on roaches.
Yeah, it looks like the long distance between the bases is really making it hard for Master to push out, because every time he takes out a couple of roaches, he also loses some, and Huntress reinforces just that much faster, and compared to Master, his roaches take way too long to get to the front, and he gets pushed back. But now he's engaging again, and it looks like he has more roaches right now, and I think this will win him the game right here.
I agree. The drones are pulled out as well, realizing they're not going to do anything at all. They are pulling back here into the main, but honestly, no matter how many, he cannot build that many roaches right now, and he could just target the roach warren down. As Master lags, wow, that could be horrible if he does DC at this point. No, he doesn't. He reconnects. And if he targets down this roach warren, he could be game, or he could just kill drones. He can kill anything he wants. He is focusing the roach warren. If that dies, he will just completely win, and that should be game right there. He has no way to build roaches at all, and Master can just keep reinforcing. That is GG. pRoHuntresS does lose that first game. This is game 3, and nGen goes 2-1 up. So we will jump into game 4 once Pro picks their next champion.